It's hard not to get emotional up here. My name is Andre Dukes, and I am the assistant pastor at Shiloh Temple International Ministries. I'm also the public engagement and family education leader for the Northside Achievement Zone. I want to give a shout out to Naz in the back there. Thank you to Urban Homeworks for giving me this opportunity to speak today. On the morning of May 23rd, 2011, I was privileged to witness the magic and power of what it means to be a neighbor. After a night of devastation and confusion, the SON sun shined upon North Minneapolis. 274 homes had received major damage, with 3,000 dealing with some level of damage. And in the coming weeks, Shiloh Temple International Ministries would provide resources including food, clothes, diapers, and services to over 3,000 of those affected. On that day, the lines of race and class and geography were blurred as volunteers woke up to help their neighbors, not knowing what to expect, but being led by an urge to respond to a crisis. They only needed to know that something terrible had happened and someone was in need. Someone needed a helping hand, and someone had to respond. Even more magical than this is the fact that there were those who, in the wake of the storm, refused to be intimidated by the magnitude of the tragedy, but immediately began to wrestle with the question of what can we do? Groups like Urban Homeworks, who, while the darkness continued to descend upon the night of the storm, began to devise a strategy of response, and as if to defy all odds, sent out an email requesting a few volunteers to meet them in the morning to help our neighbors clean up a colossal mess. Little did they know they would be coordinating so many willing hands to clean up the devastation. And at the same time, there were many individuals and organizations like NAS also gathering what and whom they could to respond quickly. When the morning arrived and I was able to get back into North Minneapolis, I knew it would not be business as usual. I knew that what I had left the night before would not be what I returned to. I called my pastor, Bishop Howell, and asked him what we as the church can do. And true to his commitment to the community, he said, "Son, I've been up asking myself the same thing. I'll see you at the church in 5 minutes." As we arrived, we were met by staff who informed us that due to the storm, we still had no power in the church, but they showed up because they knew we would be doing something. From that moment on, the miracle and the beauty of a neighborhood began to unfold. Bishop Howell sent word to the community that anyone affected by the tornado could come to the church and we would feed them, clothe them, and help them in any way we could. And people began to show up. While Urban Homework sent more than 3,000 volunteers out of a very small church to clean up the tornado zone. We kept them fed and we worked hard to meet the needs of people who had instantaneously lost their home and much of what they owned. We were all in this together. These small, almost unintentionally collaborated efforts, along with the other efforts of many other organizations and individuals, generated a fast-acting wave of coordination and love that permeated throughout the community in such a way that the consciousness of the community was elevated to a place that only God can achieve. It was as if the entire community was one organization, working together, responding to needs and giving of themselves with one vision and one mission: to help those who are in need. It was a powerful demonstration of the power of God that was the same experience witnessed by the birth of the New Testament church in AD 33, when they had all things common and the people went door to door to meet the needs of everyone. This is the kind of demonstration that only comes from the Spirit of God. And this is the kind of response that is rooted in love. So thank you, Urban Homeworks. Thank you for your proactiveness. Thank you for your willingness. Thank you for your expertise. But most of all, thank you for your labor of love. For much as you know, your labor is not in vain. Thank you so much.